Hello everybody, Jeff here. So I feel like doing some Shakespeare today. And of course, naturally, this is Drunken Shakespeare. Okay. On do three. Okay. So I'm going to do Richard III, Act 1, Scene 1. I'm going to do Titus and Andronicus, the first scene-ish. And then the Merchant of Venice, that one scene that's really popular. Um, Half Knots. You know the one, the very popular one from A Merchant of Venice. Half Knotted You Eyes, that one. I'll do that one, and then Richard III and Titus Andronicus. Alright, so forward. Let's get to it. Richard III, Act 1, Scene 1, Folio 1, enter. Richard, Duke of Gloucester, Solus. Now is the winter of our discontent. Made glorious summer by this sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house, in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now instead of mounting bog steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber, through the lascivious squeezing of weeds. But I that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I that am rudely stout, and want love's majesty, distraught before a wanton ambling nymph, I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I hold by them. Why, I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to see my shadow in the sun, and descant on my own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous, by drunken prophecies, libels, and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king a deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous, this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward, as the murderer shall be. Dive thoughts down to my cell, ere Clarence comes. Brother, good day, what means this armed guard that waits upon your grace? Then Clarence says, his majesty, tendering my person's safety, hath appointed this conduct to convey me to the Tower. And then Richard says, upon what cause? And Clarence says, because my name is George. And then Richard says, Alack, my lord, that fault is none of yours. You should for that admit your godfathers. O belike, his majesty hath some intent. You should be new christened in the tower? But what's the matter, Clarence? May I know? And then Clarence says, Yeah, Richard, when I know, but I protest. As yet I do not. But as I can learn, he hearkens after prophecies and dreams. And from the crossroads pluck the letter G. And says a wizard told him that by G his issue disinherited should be. And for my name of George begins with G, and follows in his thought that I am he. These, as I learn, in such toys as these, have moved his highness to commit me now. Then, yeah, good. Yeah, that's Richard the Third, Act 1, Scene 1. So yeah, good. That is that. Good. Good. Lovely day. Ah, forward. Titus Andronicus, Act 1, Scene 1, Folio 1, as always. Flourish. Enter the tribunes and senators aloft, and enter Saturninus and his followers at one door, and Bassianus and his followers at the other door, with drums and colors, and Saturninus speaks. Noble patricians, patrons of my right, defend the justice of my cause with arms. And countrymen, my loving followers, plead my successive title with your swords. I was the firstborn son, that was the last that wore the imperial diadem of Rome. Then let my father's honors live in me, nor wrong mine age with this indignity. And then Bassianus says, Romans, friends, followers, favorers of my right, if ever Bassianus, Caesar's son, were gracious in the eyes of royal Rome, keep then this passage to the capital, and suffer not dishonor to approach the imperial seat to virtue. Consecrate to justice, continence, and nobility, but let desert and pure election shine. And Romans, fight for freedom and your choice. Then enter Marcus Andronicus aloft with the crown. Princes that strive by factions and by friends ambitiously for rule and empery, know that the people of Rome, for whom we stand, a special party, have by common voice an election for the Roman empery, chosen Andronicus, surnamed Pius, for many good and great deserts to Rome. A nobler man, a braver warrior, lives not this day within the city walls. He by the Senate is decided home. From where he wars against the barbarous Gauls, that with his sons bows hath yoked a nation strong, traded up in arms. 10 years are spent since first he undertook this cause of Rome, and chastised with arms our enemies' pride. 5 times he hath returned, bleeding to Rome, bearing his valiant sons in coffins from the field, and now at last laden with honor spoils, returns the good Andronicus to Rome, renowned Titus, flourishing in arms. Let us entreat, by honor of his name, whom you would have now succeed, and in the capital and senate right, whom you pretend to honor and adore, that you withdraw you, and abate your strength, dismiss your followers, and as suitors should, cleave your deserts in peace and harmonies. I love that one. I love that one. I love that one. I just love that one. That's Titus Andronicus. That, I never see that around, but oh gee man, that's one of my favorites. That is one of my favorites. Okay, so let's see here. Now let's just end this. Let's end this with Merchant of Venice. Now this particular one is very common. It's very much associated with Shakespeare. It's very popular. It's the Merchant of Venice, and this is the one you probably recognize. You all probably you know this one. Oh, all right. So Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 1, and this is Shylock. There's Shylock, and there's some guy named Sal. So Sal's, see, I don't need to explain every detail. So I'm just gonna keep going, because if I talk forever, then it's like this is taking forever. And while I just get to the Shakespeare, because that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm like. So Sal says, "Why? I am sure if he forfeit, thou wilt not take his flesh. What's that good for?" And then Shylock says, "To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies, and what's the reason? I am a Jew, hath not a Jew eyes, hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer, as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? And if we are like you and the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge? If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by a Christian example? By revenge. The villainy. Okay, good. So, that's that one. That's Merchant of Venice. Alright, so, that's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. Thank you for watching. And I am Jeff. And, that's all. Bye.